The Rugby World Cup is almost over, but still the stats can tell a tale. My name is Mark. Let's talk rugby. So today we're going to look at some of the stats from the semi-finals, but also from the semi-finalists in terms of how they did in the same stats up to the quarterfinals. So we're going to start with the scrum. So Argentina went 4 from 4 for 100%. England just 3 from 7 for 43. Just shows how much they struggled really, especially in that second half when the bomb squad front row come on for the box. New Zealand 4 from 4 for them. I think the return of De Groot and Lomax really has helped them with their scrum, and not just defensively on their own ball but attacking as well. South Africa then went 7 from 8, which is a decent return from them. Again, the bomb squad though are doing better than the starting props especially. So, you could make a very good argument, I think, for the bomb squad, Oxenche and Koch actually starting ahead of Kitshoff and Malherbe in the final, but we have to see what the decision is from Razi and Nienaber on that one. In terms of the tournament overall then, scrum, so Argentina 31 from 37, 84% is pretty respectable. England 40 from 53, 75%. You can see again why they struggled. It wasn't just in that game, and it wasn't just South Africa that were catching them out. And some of the props I think struggled. The likes of Sinclair and Genge, especially when they come on the bench, complete opposite to the box replacements. That their scrum performance went backwards really. New Zealand then 31 from 36 is decent from them, 86%. And the box 36 from 45, 80%. So they've actually improved that from the pool stage. And you see they got even better in their semi-finals too. So that scrum for them is on the up, which is a good thing for them going into that final, because New Zealand are going to give them a test there. Onto the line out then. Argentina 10 from 12, 83% is very good against this New Zealand line out. England 7 from 10, 70%. You're not going to be winning too many games on the back of a 70% line out, but it's not too terrible either, honestly, for them in that game too. Maybe a couple of crucial times though, George's throwing could have been a bit better, and maybe they would have gotten that chance to get over for a try. They could have won it for them. New Zealand 18 from 19, 95% is amazing, and their line-out has gone so well throughout the entire tournament. South Africa 15 from 19 at 79%, a bit down on what you would expect from the box line out there, but the likes of Toji got up pretty well, I think, for England, and disrupted there for them. In the entire tournament then, Argentina 68 from 75 gives them 91%. England 62 from 72, 86%. New Zealand 69 from 71 is amazing, 97% over almost an entire World Cup now. So they've done fantastic with their one. Then South Africa 71 from 81, 88% for them. So improving again, the box set piece, I think improving is the buzzword for them, and again need to step up another level into that final. In terms of line-out steals, then we had 1 from Argentina, 2 from England, 2 each from England, New Zealand and South Africa in their semi-final games. Overall then, 6 from Argentina, 7 from England, but New Zealand and the box, is hard to split them, 12 steals each. So that lineup is going to be super competitive. New Zealand would do really well, to be up in the 90s again in that final, because I think the box certainly have they have the tall timber there to, with the likes of Etzebeth and Mostert, to get up there and compete as well and make it a little bit more of competition really for New Zealand's ball. So we'll have to kind of watch the space on that one, I think. Next 10 meters per carry, So Argentina, they carried for 522 meters. That's 3.41 meters per carry. And then England, 236 for 2.84. But, conditions, I think, had an effect on the carry meters in that game. We see with the box as well. New Zealand, 621 meters, 3.72 meters per carry is actually down for them on the tournament overall. South Africa, 190 carries and 2.74 meters per carry. So they were a little bit down compared to England there, and actually did the least meters per carry of the semi-finalists. New Zealand at the top there. In terms of then overall meters per carry, Mark Talea was carried for the most meters with 101. So a decent return to the All Blacks team for him in that game, after being excluded because he missed a curfew. For the tournament overall then, Argentina carried for 2,876 meters for an average of 3.67. England, 2,590 for an average of 4.23. So, it's certainly better meters per carry than Argentina, but not, in terms of overall meters, not as many though. New Zealand, 4,101 is the most meters in the whole tournament, and 4.96 is also the highest meters per carry. The box though, coming up nicely against them. 2,809 isn't, a huge amount of meters actually gained, but the fact that they're making 4.83 meters per carry is fairly decent, and it means they have a chance, I think, in that final as well to put it up to New Zealand with the carries. Gain of success then, Argentina carried over the game line 79 times for 52%. England just 33 times and only 40%. New Zealand 92 times for 55%. And South Africa just 30 times for 44%. So South Africa, they're going to have to push closer to 50%, I think, when we come to the finals again to have impact from the carries. In terms of overall, Argentina 403 carries over the gain line for 52%. England 317 for 52%. New Zealand though 507 for 61%. If they can get anywhere near that in the final, they're going to give themselves a really good chance there. And then South Africa's 310 carries over the gain line for 53%. So they're going to need to be somewhere up near that number, I think, in that final, really, to get some kind of parity, at least in the loose against New Zealand. Then, Mark Talea again to the fore. He had 11 carries in that semi-final against Argentina over the gain line. Tom Curry was the best in the other semi-final with 6 carries over the gain line for England. So, he had, other than getting a red card really in the first game, he's actually had a pretty decent tournament. We'll have a look at some more stats now. So the next we're looking at is meters per kick. So Argentina kicked for 660 meters, that's 30 meters per kick. England 961, 23.43 meters per kick. New Zealand though kicked the most, 1,007 for 27.97 meters per kick, and South Africa 837 meters for 28.86 meters per kick. So South Africa getting the most meters per kick, but New Zealand getting the most meters, from kicks overall. So we should really expect New Zealand in that final to be kicking more than South Africa, but South Africa, we know they have big boots, and when they do kick, it's going to go long. In terms of then kicks regathered in the semi-finals, we had 4 for Argentina, 11 for England, 6 for New Zealand, and 5 for South Africa. So England, we saw the way they were kicking against South Africa. They were putting up, making it contestable, getting up there, slapping it down, or gathering it themselves, and it really did pay off for them for most of the game. For the entire tournament then, Argentina regathered just 19 kicks, England 44, which is a tournament high. New Zealand then second with 31, and South Africa with 21. So, England, that tactic that they used against South Africa, it paid off in that one, but it's one they used well throughout the tournament, and it gave them, decent field position as well. And if you can do that and you can make them contestable, and you have the guys up there that have the skills to get up there and either bat it back on your side or just claim it, why not do it? If there's no point in hamstring yourselves by not doing it, and the conditions really called out for it too. So I think England did really, really well in that, and it looked like it was going to guide them to a final as well. They came so close. Next then, tackle success. So Argentina made 192 tackles, tackling at 73%, and against the All Blacks, that's not going to do you well, and that's partly why it was a bit of a blowout on the scoreboard. England 89 tackles for 83% is respectable. New Zealand 185 tackles for 88%. So you can see that New Zealand almost had to make as many tackles as Argentina in that one, and it just shows they're we've seen great attacking New Zealand teams in the past, but this World Cup, their defence has been exceptional as well. And, in the final, they're going to have to go another one with that as well, because the Box are actually dangerous with ball in hand, no matter, the perception people have of them. South Africa then made just 109 tackles for 87%. So, they still made more tackles than England, but that better percentage there helped them out a lot. I think penalties conceded then let's look at tackle success for the tournament first. So 675 tackles by Argentina over the entire tournament for 78%. England then 699 for 83%. So maintaining that all the way through, which is kind of good, to be that consistent. New Zealand 772, so for 86%, and then the Box 765 for 83%. So very close in terms of tackle percentage and tackles made between the two finalists there as well. And then on to penalties conceded. So Argentina conceded 10 penalties in their semi-final. England 11, a lot of them in that scrum in that second half as well, and that was kind of the turning of the game. New Zealand just 7 in their semi-final, and the Box just 8. And New Zealand were the only team that got a yellow card as well across the two semi-finals. Over the tournament then, Argentina 57 penalties conceded, and they got 2 yellow cards. England 54 penalties conceded with 1 red card. New Zealand 55 penalties conceded. They had the 1 red card and 4 yellow cards. And in South Africa, 48 penalties conceded for just 1 yellow card across the entire tournament. Next on to turnovers. So Argentina, they won 3 turnovers. England 8, New Zealand 5, and South Africa 4. And then flipped them over for the reverse in terms of turnovers lost. And back on tackles as well. Thomas Gallo with the most tackles across the semi-finals with 19. That's some shift that he put in. And then across the entire tournament, Argentina won 25 turnovers but conceded 33. England won 34 and only conceded 29. New Zealand won 37 and only conceded 27, so a net gain of 10 for them. South Africa won 39, so 2 more than them, but they did concede 37 as well. So on net, not so good for them. So that's it really for the stats from the semi-finals. We will have a preview as well for the final itself. So hopefully, look out for that, and we'll also be covering the third, fourth place playoff on Friday too.